Testing. Hello, play game for fun. What's up? Alright, so I figured I'd poke around on 99 Nights on the Mountain for a little bit. We can work on the logic around the fire. I've realized that friendly tags don't work quite the way they used to. I was hoping I'd be able to manipulate the tags on a health next to a tree to be able to punch it and not punch it depending on the friendly tag, but it seems like that's not in 12. So hopefully they bring it back, or it's just a bug or something. Maybe I should just go on with it the way I hope so it'll work. So essentially, once you beat this thing up once, this asset spawner will spawn the log, and then it'll also turn itself off and then get turned back on randomly is how I was going to do it. Otherwise, in 99 Nights in the Forest, you can plant trees, but I'm not sure how good that'll work in the GameMaker over a long period of time. I like to try to make sure that everything that's going to be on the game is there when it spawns and use active property switchers instead, but we can test out spawning stuff. My idea is to have some sort of central rotating. Is that a behavior? I think the rotate is a behavior with a platform as a child, so it'll essentially be like this. And then you'll have an RNG that talks to the asset spawners that are children of the platform, so you can see how it would just like spawn somewhere. Essentially making a big bird. That's the bird component. Or behavior, I mean. But that takes time. Takes resources. But I do want to invent that system too and use it for some things in this game. So I think that should work. So I want this system to turn off once something spawns here. So tree death. You can also just have a speaker that delays this, I think. So let's use a speaker. And we will have a wait for a message. Message required. Tree death. Message to send. Tree off. Broadcast to self. And then let's put a toggle. Initially, this tree will be on. It turns on with tree.0.on. And it gets turned off with tree.off. Right now, I just have buttons like this to turn it back on, but I think what I could do is just have some sort of global RNG tick that's looking for trees to turn back on that have once died. Potentially is the idea right now. So right now this health will continue to be killable, and you'll still be able to punch it once the tree is down, but it doesn't give out any more logs. What else could we do here? Like, to sell it, there's also like a bottom part of the tree trunk. I could potentially use this asset. I could just use a log easier, probably. I don't want it to be too large. Short trunk. Okay, that's what I used. Tree.0. And then let's say that this is tree.0.trunk. And this one is initially going to be invisible. Just leave it here for now so we can work on it easier. This is the health. These are the actor property switchers. So we're going to need another set of actor property switchers to talk to the trunk. Trunk. Actor property switcher. I'm not adding tags or anything, but this tag is dot trunk. And so instead of making the tree invisible, we're making the tree trunk visible. Let's just go ahead and duplicate that. And so when we get the message tree.0.on, we're going to make the trunk invisible. So at least when you're punching it, then the health still works. It's like you can't punch a tree trunk anymore because it's a tree trunk. I don't know. But at least it's something. We can go ahead and add sound effects and stuff to this, visual effects, perhaps, and also work on the fire. So let's make sure this first spawning point is the active spawner. Maybe I should make that bigger because it's confusing. It looks like one of the logs you can pick up. So yeah, I'll make that the longer version. Okay, so the asset spawner's off at least and it's not working. But let's say the tree regrows. Now it switches all back and we have it all ready again. That won't work because I can only carry 5 things. I don't think I've ever tested if the fire goes out. You can see it went down by 5, down to 10, down to 5. And the fire goes out and the light goes out. That's pretty cool. Let's back up. Goes up. I realized you can spawn it and then try to collect it again, which isn't that difficult. I didn't get that one though. That's kind of weird. But I'm thinking if I just spawn it up higher so you can't even get up there and collect them, then it'll be okay anyway. Now I'll be able to pick up this log. There's the tree again. And then we need the camp level. Figure that out, and that's what expands the walls. So like right now in this, I have these invisible walls here. That means you can't go down further down the mountain. But once you upgrade your fire enough, your camp gets upgraded, and that essentially like makes the walls expand out further and gives you more areas to explore. So that stuff we'll be working on here. This is on a 3x3. I've never worked on a 3x3 before. It's kind of laggy on my system. It'll be interesting to see what goes on here. My hope's to make like really simple systems that I can just stack on top of each other. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. So if there's one tree... Oh yeah, I was going to switch this quick. So let's hit X and grab the new asset type here. And we're going to say that we want to search for a trunk. I want the tall trunk. So it won't look quite like it. I'm going to leave it like that so it's easier to work on. Actually, let's see. What stuff will need to be different? The on message. It's a spawner. Man, I hate when collision boxes are messing with me. So the health is going to be right on top. And then the actor property switchers are the main things that are going to hear it. Also, the asset spawner has a toggle message that turns it back on. That is true. So let's see. Let's highlight all of this, and we're going to rename it to tree.0. We're going to search for tree.0. Tree.0.admin. Tree.0. Do I have to deselect that? Dang it. Oh, it's right there. Tree.0.health. Tree.0.grown. Sure. Tree.0.trunk. Tree.0.as for asset spawner. So now let's have everything on the grown. Maybe. Or we can just turn these off and have the admin be the parent. Just turn them off and have them be tests, maybe. I don't know if I'm going to regret it, but that's what I'm going to do for now. So let's just go ahead and shift, grab all these, and we're going to drag it on top of here. Also drag this on top. So grab this. It's going to be all connected. Should have made this invisible first. But all I need to make is grown visible again. So that won't be too difficult. It'll be easy enough to fix if I don't like it. I'll just leave that visible. And then let's say that the broadcast range is like, you know, want them to be self-contained systems. So that should work pretty good. But as an example here, let's have a few trees now. going to grab all of this. Give it a 180. I can see these logic donuts. The heck? I can't reach the health. Did I turn on immune to attacks? Interesting, interesting. So I could hide the center of... I could take collisions. I could use collisions to make trees unpunchable. Why didn't you turn... Oh, it did. Turned all of them. So I didn't change the messages yet. But this is interesting. This can't be destroyed because it's inside. Wait a second here. So if I say that this tree has no collisions, let me see here. So we say the main tree has no collisions, and when we turn it back on, this is the friendly stuff. Tree on, let's not turn the collisions back on. But we will turn the collisions of the trunk on, which will push you out of there. So I can go right through the tree, which means I can punch it. And it dies and it pushes me out, and then I can't punch it. Because it's being protected by the collision? kind of biological. What I meant to say was diabolical. What kind of diabolical logic is this? Goes back to being on. I can run through this again, and so I can punch it. I guess that's a workaround, huh? Or is friendly working now? No, friendly isn't working. Let's see, maybe friendly's fixed. No, that doesn't make any sense. It's the collision of the thing underneath it. It pushes me out of there too. That's interesting. Well, it's a pretty cool workaround, not gonna lie. So if we just say that the life bar is always hidden, even though the health is at 50, it says it has 100 health, which is kind of weird. Interesting, interesting. Probably make some shenanigans happen with this, though. And so, just to test this further, if I start with collisions on this, I shouldn't be able to punch the health. So if you put health on something and then put it inside of some collisions, you're not going to be able to punch it. So I guess that's the workaround for friendly. Got it, got it. I should really bring the tree closer to me. The logs really launched all over the place. Because they're a little too low still. Let's have them drop from up here. And let's go ahead and bring all of this closer to my spawning location. Tree death. The message didn't reach him. That's pretty cool. Now I can't attack it again. So it regrows. Now I can attack it. This also didn't reach the asset spawner. And so each tree will have to have separate turn on messages. I'll have to think about a system for it. Behind him seems to be the best place to drop it. Something like that, perhaps. Alright, that's cool that we found a workaround for friendly tag not working. We've got a tree that spawns. Drops the logs. It's kind of cool looking. The fire's pretty much working except for it doesn't level up. So we pretty much have the foundation for the trees set up here, which I can keep on working on later. Pretty good foundation, hopefully. And then just everything will have a separate turn on message, and the turn on message will come out of the gameplay rules with some sort of RNG that regrows the trees. So right now I'm using a concrete tile with the new collisions stuff here, which is really cool. So I can make a big old collisions wall with any asset that I want. And then I also have a visual effect playing to demonstrate where the barrier is. So these are the things that I'm going to delete as the camp gets bigger. And essentially, they're going to go, I was thinking 12, but maybe 24 each time. Okay, so what is 24 here? Let's see. 24 barely gives you a camp. So I'm probably going to do 12 for the first one and set up some walls like right into there. I have these out because I thought it would be cool to use them for tutorial. Could have them in base camp for like the tutorial stuff potentially. Well, we'll see. I'll do the old half door trick. Drag them all to the side to put them together. And we'll just put them somewhere here in the middle. They're going to be the tutorial someday, likely. Okay. Put them by the spawner. And then, so this also is going to go over at 12. All right, let's see here. So we got 12. Wow, I did it perfect. 12. 12. 12. So that's going to be the first wall, I think. Put a block over here to have something to grab onto, and then we'll just delete the outsides of these. Just put it out there and then grab it. Right here. Ugh. All right then, so that means that these first walls are actually going to be like right here. Something like that. And so when you get the camp level high enough, these walls will disappear and move back, essentially. Oh. Wonder if I could just use like a platform and move them back. Or if it'd be easier just to destroy them. Turn the next ones on. I'm not quite sure. But let's take a look at the rules. Have I tried teleporting quickly to different areas using editor? I did right when it came out, but I'm not the best at remembering to do it. But the way you do it is the right alt gives you access to these buttons. So you gotta do to, yeah, you can turn this on, avatar teleport, which is F9. So F8 gives me free camera. We can travel around. And then click, and then F8. But yeah, I need to get better at remembering to use it. It's super cool though. F8. Fly back up here. Drop it. F8. But yeah, you hold right alt to get down here, but once you're good at just remembering the shortcuts, you won't have to do that. So F9 turns it off. If I hold right alt. Super cool though. I just kind of forget it exists. I'm not used to it yet. So let's see what I made for the rules for this fire so far. Throw a log in. It's adding 20, which is a lot. Yep, we did the fire ceiling, then your fire level. We're checking it every time we add a log. And that's what turns on like continuous comparison for fire off. We stop the continuous math if we hear fire off. And once it's greater, we hit fire level. Fire level. We start at fire level 0. So at fire level 1, we're going to be increasing the fire ceiling and starting the fire health back at 0 so we can build the fire up again. So does that mean the fire goes out? I guess I never really paid attention, but yeah, I guess it does. If you level up and don't add any more wood to it, the fire would be out. Interesting. So you add another log to it. Okay, let's separate this and decide what this all means. So we get fire level check, and if it's equal to 1, fire level 1. What is fire level 1 gonna do? It's gonna replace edit number values. We're going to, actually, I don't want to do this. I want to use math so that it continues on its way. It can continue on inevitably if I want it to. So it's going to have to be math. So if we get fire level 1, we're going to take the fire ceiling And let's multiply it by, if it just continues to double, how crazy is that? I mean, you're not going to live very long, hopefully. 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, 4 levels, 5 levels. 6 levels, 7 levels, 8 levels, 9 levels, 10 levels. I'm not sure. There's probably going to be like a limit, like camp 5, max level, whatever. For now, we'll just double it each time, and that's the new fire ceiling. We're going to have another math, which is going to say fire level 1. And we are going to grab the fire health and multiply it by 0. And that's the new fire health. And we're going to send fire off, out. I'll still have to do a comparison for each level anyway, so it's not like it'll just go up infinitely without me doing anything. Is this all we need to do? I think so. So when we get up to the next level, it's just looking at this variable again, so I don't need to redo any of this. And then it's going to send fire level. Fire level is going to add another to the fire level, and then we're going to check it. So now, once it gets equal to 2, we're going to send out the message fire.level.2. Fire.level.2 is going to multiply the fire ceiling by 2 again, and that's the fire ceiling. Level.2, we're going to multiply fire health by 0 again and turn it off. And so on and so forth. But now I have these two messages, fire level 1 and fire level 2. So for now, let's just grab a hold of these. Hopefully I can edit them when they're together. And I want to put a plant on them. I like how plant is a trash can now, I just noticed that. Should have just called it trash then. Can't modify them together. That is super unfortunate. What the heck? That was one of the most cool things about Sandbox. So this will get destroyed when we hear fire.level.1. Just copy this, since I have to go do it to each one. Now let me duplicate this. So this is the one that would get deleted on fire level 2. Just to try to show this example. We also don't need to have this visual effect on at the beginning. It can get turned on with fire level 1. Let's turn that one on so we try not to use visual effects we don't need to. Thinking of the easiest way to do this. Hit play, duplicate. Bring it out to the edge. This is the one I want to play. I think I can just paste that. And then we'll change this to fire level .2. All right. Let's just give it a save and see what's happening so far. My stream's going to be about done for today. Got an hour work done on 99 Nights on the Mountain. Okay. I'm not keeping track of the fire level right now. Can't pick that one up. I did collect that one again. Oh yeah, I'm mashing so it won't come out. I need to fix that too. I'm going to change it to a true false probably. So the button will work if it's or false, and it won't work if it's true, for example. And the timer will get sent off when the true message. I'll explain it later when I'm actually doing it. I made it too hard. I can't level up the fire by myself. And one tree. I'm gonna have a lot of fun messing with the sound effects and stuff in this game too. It's gonna leave, you know, a lot that you can do. Leveled up. The fire went out. Now we have this extra space to work with up to here. I got out. So I can hit F8, F9. drive up here, click, F8, F9. Or just hit F9. Is or F8's the free camera, and then F9 is this. Super cool. Yeah, I was working on the fashion show yesterday, and then I was like, sometime later in the night, I was thinking to myself, I could have just used the teleport. Love that feature. It's super cool. Alright, so that's pretty much it for me today. I think we're making some good progress on this. Slow and steady wins the race. I try not to kill myself too hard doing logic anymore. And just work on it slow and steady as I'm inspired and stuff like that. And things tend to work better that way anyway, when you're slow and patient with it. But when I do hear the dates for Builders Challenge and stuff, you'll see me more on top of this for sure. You can see that the bar around the outside is consistent with it needing 200 now. The fire isn't going down though. Oh yeah, it is. It is. Because fire.on turns continuous math on. So yeah, just need to tweak it and make it work a little better. After we have the trees working with the fire, we're going to be doing the crafting bench. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to work on yet. Maybe some enemies. Keeping the troll witch out of the camp at night. We have to do the day-night cycle. Yeah. And making sure that the Kuzu, the troll witch, stays out of the camp when the light's on, and that she can go into the camp when the light's off, and what does that mean, and how do they attack you and stuff like that. I am using the new follow behavior, which is sick. It works so good. And it's a synced thing, so you can see when Kuzu gets too close to me, I have the visual effect blow up, and then he'll run away. He's following and retreating from the avatar tag. But yeah, cool. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me today. So I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks, Feedbots. Thanks, Play Game, for fun. I appreciate you being here. And I will see you later.